Route Farms, brother.
Well, hello, Mr. John. How you doing?
Doing good, man.
Come on up and have a seat.
Another beautiful day in Central Arkansas.
Yeah.
And how you been?
Mid-January. Yeah.
Yeah, for January, bees are flying and the dandelions are blooming.
That's right.
Thought I'd come up and talk to you a little bit about the nukes and how the winter's been and kind of what the folks buying bees from us are going to expect and kind of,
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
just kind of talk to you a little bit about that. Had some free time, wanted to run out and visit with you.
I'm glad you did. We've had about 3 pretty days here in a row, so I've got out and looked at some yards, and it is January, so the bees aren't just real active, but they're what I'm seeing, I'm happy with.
Comparably to last winter before, does it seem like this winter you've kept bees in cluster longer versus these warm-ups, these big breaks in temperature?
I would say no. This year we've had a fairly warm winter for sure, and fall was very much warm, so they've been pretty active, but they've not consumed a whole lot of their honey stores. They're still pretty heavy as far as what they made in the fall off the goldenrod. We had a pretty good goldenrod flow.
Was that a good, they put up a lot, they stored a lot,
They stored a lot. Overall, most all the yards did. There were a few that must have not had the access to the nectar, but for the most part, most all of them put up a considerable amount of honey, at least enough to make it through the winter on.
Okay.
Very little feeding.
Which is a good thing, and from your standpoint, absolutely a good thing.
Very good, very good.
While you brought one thing up, and in my personal hives, I saw this, and you got way more colonies in boxes. Did you see and notice the crystallized goldenrod honey in the comb? Was that pretty common? And do we as hobbyists, myself and those that may be watching, is that a problem? Will those bees feed through that crystal honey just like they would if it was liquid honey? I mean, you got any insight?
They will. They'll eat it just like it was a liquid honey in the comb.
Okay.
Most all of it, really, I haven't seen a whole lot of. They've consumed a lot.
So they're
of it
already working on it. Okay.
Yes. You'll notice there'll be some mixed with the wax cappings, but you can see some of those bigger crystals that they didn't break up to eat that have fallen out, and they didn't hurt them at all.
Good deal. Good.
But it was strange to see. That's something I hadn't seen before.
Right. And
I had
never
questioned what they were going to do with it.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I wanted to ask you about that. I think that it definitely helps my feelings when I know that, a professional beekeeper that's in bees every day, making his living, keeping bees, selling honey, and selling queens. That's a soothing fact when you go, no worries.
Right.
Because if anybody would be worried, I'd think it would be you.
So far, everything looks good.
Great. You raise queens.
I do.
And your bees and your queens, as most people know, are available through Central Beekeeper Supply. They are labeled 100% your bees. They're Rural Route Farms. Personally, I know you do a great job with all of that. Tell us a little bit about your queen program, roughly when it starts, roughly when it ends, and can you ship queen bees for those who don't need them locally?
Right. So we start our queen program right after we make our nukes up. We'll put on our I use medium frames for my queen mating nukes. So after we make all of our nukes up that we're going to sell, we put on our medium boxes, and just as soon as the bees have had time to build back up to fill those boxes, we'll go back in and we'll split those all into the mating nukes. The last couple of years it's been mid-May when we've had those ready.
Now, and that's mid-May, viable bred laying queens.
Ready to go.
Okay.
I try to select, just like I do for my nukes, I try to select the bees to graft off of that one wintered well, came through winter with a large cluster of bees, made honey. I mark all this down throughout the year. I've got hives that have got stuff written all over them because they're the ones I'm watching, and those are the ones that I'll use to make my queens for sale.
So, as a novice, for what I just heard is you do grade the queens that you want to raise queens from.
Right.
Okay.
And I'll switch that up every year. I never use the same queens from the year before. I'll always keep a different fresh blood. That's right. As far as I sell through Central Beekeeper Supply locally, but I also will ship queens nationwide. I've got several people up north that buy from me on a weekly basis. Try to have queens, like I said, from mid-May through about the end of September. We'll just have to see. That ending date sometimes varies as far as what the summer ran out with. But.
And unless I miss it, without trying to put words in your mouth, your queen availability is stretched or shortened due to drone breeding stock.
Right. So I'm having to
because these queens are naturally bred.
That's exactly right. So I position my mating nuke yards where they are circled with my parent yards. Okay. So I've got hives or yards with the big hives that are surrounding these within about a mile.
Large colonies encompassing your mating yards.
Right.
Okay.
So that way, any which way she flies, northeast, south, or west, we'll have drone bees flying.
And drone bees from your stock.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I can try to control that as best I can.
Right.
And so I'm watching that as the summer goes on. I'm watching my drone population, and when it starts to slow down, that's usually when I want to stop selling queens, because I don't want to sell a queen that's not bred good.
Oh, absolutely.
And so that's usually when the last couple of years it's been right there. September seems to be about the right month as far as going ahead and finishing off.
Good deal. That sounds great. Is there any possibility you might let us tag along to a yard and take a look at some of these bees that folks are going to be purchasing?
Yeah, we sure can. It's like I said, it's January, so they're not.
Temperature wise, do you feel like we got a good day? We can sneak a peek at some brood.
It's supposed to be the last couple of days. It's got up to mid 50s, and they get out and they're flying. So we'll get into some, see what we've got.
Great. Well, if you're on board with that, we definitely are. Folks, remember Justin Lowe, Rural Route Farms. Professional beekeeper. His livelihood depends on what he does. He does it very well. He does it every day. He's the real deal. Thanks for watching. That one's wanting in the box right now. You're long-winded today. They spit that wad of carcasses back out and start again.